Welcome to the Battle of Vimiero. Today we have the French versus the British and Portuguese forces. Let's do a quick look at the battlefield. We have French on the near side. We have British on the far side. That's the Vimiero over there. And then over here we have, of course, more French here, British, and then along the back line, the Portuguese forces. So let's talk about the special rules for a minute. This, of course, is commands and colors. We have a victory of 13 banners. The special rules: the French gain 2 temporary victory banners at the start of each turn for each town hex of Vimiero they occupy. So there's a potential 6 points there. But the British gain 2 at the start of the turn if the French do not occupy any of the town hexes, so they start with 2 points at the beginning of the battle. The town of Ventosa is worth 2 points for the side that occupies it at the beginning of the turn, and the French gain 1 point if they occupy the bridge. The river in the upper corner there, the Vimiero River, is impassable except at the fords marked by the gravel. And the entire Toledo Brook, this brown stream that runs through the battlefield, is fordable. In addition to shallow fords, there's one here with the cavalry, and one there as well. Do not stop movement. So, a quick look at my thinking for each side. The French, I like this side much better, especially with the potential points of the town and the bridge. I don't like these British lights here. They're a pain. They're deadly. I will do what I can to either eliminate them or get them out. This artillery battery is also a bit of a problem. I want to get some of these forces from the back here up to put pressure here and here. Get these guys up to try and push against these, hopefully before these British from the other side can make any progress over to reinforce their friends here. I don't like the French situation on this side as much, and of course the battlefield, these are impassable. So really the battlefield is kind of divided in half. So I'm guessing this battle is going to play out as kind of, everything from the center left and then basically the right flank. The French have a fair number of forces over here. However, the British and Portuguese also have a lot. I probably will, if I get the chance, make a play for the town and try and hang on to that and basically just try and play more of a defensive battle on this side, but you never know how things are going to play out. And as for the British, it's really, I think, about hanging on to the town and bridge. They do have some reinforcements pretty close, as well as the guys in the corner to bring in to make sure they hang on to that. Even if they lose this front line, not that big a deal. Just don't give up easy points there, especially with only a 13-point victory level. You lose the whole town, that's 6 there, and the bridge would be 7. And you figure you're going to take some losses along the way. That might be enough to do it right there. So on this side, probably try and take the village for the points. Maybe keep the French pinned back, and if I can get enough forces up, maybe see how hard I can press them. Yeah, so I think that's where we're going to start. We are playing with the, I forget what it's called, the command deck or command rack, whatever. It's the 5 extra cards, so you will play 1 card from your hand, pick 1 from the 5 that you can see there in the corner, in the command rack, and We have the tactician deck in play as well. I believe the French go first. Yes. So let's just take a quick look at the cards. What they start with, we have probe right. I don't really want to do a lot on the right. Okay, this is a great card. A grand maneuver. Four or fewer units, and can move up to 4 hexes. That really allows. That's going to be very handy over here to get these forces up off the baseline and organize. As part of the offensive I want to go on over there. Assault left, again, great card for what I want to do. Fire and hold, also a good card. And force march. Okay, the French having outstanding initial hand. In the command deck, there's probe center, attack center, bayonet charge, and attack right. So I can use the center card to get these guys going and use the other ones to work that left flank. So tactician card wise, infantry range leader, an ordered infantry unit with a leader will perform range combat with 1 additional dice. Okay, I've got these guys here. They're going to be dueling the light infantry and the artillery. That could be very handy. Cavalry forward, an ordered cavalry unit may move 1 additional hex more than its ordered movement. Also handy to get maybe some of these forces off the baseline and up, or to intervene when the fighting gets heavy in the front there. And then last, canister. Play this card after opponent declares a melee attack against an artillery unit. For the dice rolled, your artillery unit will battle first. Okay. So it's kind of like a first strike, but only for artillery. Okay, so not bad. A couple of helpful cards there as well. So this, we'll look at the British cards on their turn. And let's get things started. Just trying to make sure my mic's working. This is a new mic setup for me. Hopefully it's working well. Okay. So for the French, definitely going to play the Grand Maneuver card. And we will play the Attack Center. This is going to get me the most movement I can get. Okay, let's do 3 units in the center, which the red, can you see that? Yeah, barely. Let me move that up. The red bushes that you can see mark so from here over's left, here over center, and then everything over there is to the right. So 3 in the center. This is light infantry. Okay, so let's go 1. Keep the leader. Let's go 2. And just move these guys up for 3. Now, 4 or fewer units or leaders, ordered units or leaders may make a strategic move up to 4 hexes, but they may not battle. And I do draw 1 tactician card. Okay, so 4. Alright, what do I want to do here? I definitely would like to get, change this angle a little bit, get these guys up in support. So let's go. Let's move these guys first. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get these guys 1, 2, and 3. Get these guys. Leave them on the hill because I don't want to block the artillery. And I think this is this any section? No, it's any 4. Okay, so yeah, because I've got this horse artillery here. I'd like to get them up because it takes forever to move artillery up in this game, starting that far back. Put them there, that doesn't really help. You know what, I think I will. I think I'm gonna, because that also puts them on that line that's both the center and the right. Any of the tags you see on the figures you can ignore. Those are just left over from previous games. I just never bothered to take off. Okay, so the 4 that moved on the grand maneuver card can't do anything. The 3 that moved on the attack center can fire. I need my chart here that tells me what they can do. Alright, so if they move, it's half their blocks rounded up. Light infantry, it's also half rounded up. So, but I also have this 1 additional die. Alright, so this firing at the hill, so it would be 4, but they move, so it's half, so it's 2. And then firing at the hill is 1. I'm going to play the infantry range leader, so it goes back to 2. So they got 1 hit. And of course, I don't have any of my hit markers handy. Oh, sorry about that. So they took 1 hit. That's good. And these guys, it's going to be the same thing. It's only going to be 1 dice, though, because they don't have the card. That's a miss. And then these lights, I think I will shoot at the artillery, and they are 1 per block, so 4 plus 1 is 5. But they move, so it's half, but you round up. So that's still 3. But then down 1 for the hill is 2. Ooh, 1 hit. Very good. Okay, so not a bad start. And we draw 1 tactician card. Infantry forward leader. In order to infantry unit with an attached, they remove 1 additional hex. I think we have 2. No, we have a cavalry forward and an infantry forward. So, okay. Let's do the British turn. Over here. I have not looked at their cards yet. They have 1 more command card and 2 more tactician cards. So to start, they have scout left, which of course is going to be, everything's going to be the opposite of the camera. Attack center, fire and hold. Whew, that could be deadly for that artillery and those lights. Assault center, bombard, and give them cold steel. Okay, wow, that is a great hand for them. And they have battle back bonus, loophole buildings, Leader orders a fallback. Sappers. That's great because you ignore the terrain. Artillery combat bonus. Okay. So I think I'm going to do this and try and decimate the advancing French. So fire and hold, and then from the command rack, I think I'm going to do attack the right because I want to move those guys across the stream. Okay, so 4 or fewer infantry and or artillery units, ordered units, will perform range combat with 1 additional dice. Okay, so we're going to go 1, we're going to go 2, we're going to go 3, and we're going to go 4. And then for the attack right, I don't think a forward stops movement. My train chart. Fordable river. You must stop. Okay. Alright. But I'm a little confused if there's a difference between a ford and a fordable river. Guess not. So, okay. And I know they can only cross the ford, so these guys will move in here. That's 1. This will go in the column. These guys will go. I think I'll move into the forward, and the leader will accompany them. I want to make sure. I think I move 2, right? No, they can only move 1. Okay. So these guys have to come back to here. Oh, you will stay with them. And they were there, so that's only 1. Okay. So pretty boring there. However, now I need my chart. These charts are very handy. They're on Board Game Geek. There's a whole bunch of different ones that I think act as a better summary chart than what actually comes with the game sometimes. Okay. We have rifle lights. They fire at one dice per stand. Plus 1. So that would be 2, and then plus 1 is 3, but then the card is another one, so that is 4. And I'm going to fire at this unit here. Two hits and a retreat. Okay. So they advance and just got tore up by rifle fire. If there had been another French unit around them, they could have ignored the flag, but there isn't. I think I will move them back up onto the hill. Okay. Now the artillery. That is uniforms foot artillery. And they have 1 hit on them, but that's still, yeah, because they have 3 blocks to start. I really need to put a limber. The way I see how I use a limber here to mark the 3rd one, I really need to get another limber out to mark that. So anyway, that's 1 hit. So they're still at full strength for firing. So it's, I think these lights are most dangerous. So 3 dice there, plus 1 for the card. So 4 dice. And we have one hit and a retreat. The retreat they can ignore because they're supported. But they do take one hit. Okay. This is line infantry. I think we're going to concentrate on this. So they are one. They didn't move, so it's 1 per stand plus 1. So that's going to be 5 dice, British firepower, plus 1 for the card is 6. There's no deduction because they're both on the same level. Oh my. Completely wiped out. Okay. Put these over here. And move the British score up to a 3. Using a 20-sided dice, which isn't terribly practical, but it's what I had handy. So it's 3-0. And then now we have the light infantry, who, because they were wiped out, they don't have a target, so that's it's kind of wasted there. Okay. So let's put these back. Oh, I did not draw a regular card for the French, so let's do that now. Draw one for the British. Okay. Okay. Well, that was pretty devastating to lose an entire unit on one roll, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Alright, let's do French turn. Let's see how their fortunes fare. Let me try and do this where you guys can see them. Bayonet charge. 2 hexes still battle. 1 dice. Ooh. Kind of like that. Let's just rush them. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. Let's do that. So any of these I want to use. Okay. On the rack, there's 2 centers or another bayonet charge, which I think would violate the spirit of. You have to try and not play the cards in the same sector. So, if I play I'm gonna use the bayonet for them. Do the probe center. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So let's do the bayonet charge. 4 or fewer infantry units. We move 2 hexes and still melee. And, oh no, okay, the extra dice is only if it's guard. None of these are guard, so, okay, so let's do 4. So I think I'm going to do all 4 of these. Let's do 1, 2. Oh, you know what? I like this better. Let's put the full strength one. Do a little crisscross. 1. These guys will clean up any mess that's left, hopefully. It's 2. These guys will come in. You know what I think I'm going to do? Since I can move 2, I don't know if getting in range of them is smart. But if for some reason these guys fail, and I can still attack their attack. I don't know. I'm just going for it. I like to keep the line infantry or light infantry for the French in a more of a line formation. It's just easier to remember that they're light. And then these guys, I don't want to come here because then I'm blocking lines of retreat. All right. And then I also like that I've opened up the lane for the artillery. So those are my 4 bayonet charges. Now 2 in the center. That's horse artillery. It is a 3, 2, 1, and then down 1 for the hill. So that's not really helpful. However, you can move 2 or move 1 and fire. Because I could move up here on the hill, because then they'd be on the same level, so it'd be 3. Is that 3, 2, 1, 1? Yeah. So it'd be 3, 2, 1. So I'd have 1 dice if this attack. Oh wait, then I could do that combined arms too. Because if you do a combined arms where they're, well, no, they're immediately, that doesn't work. I don't think. Or maybe it does. I have to look that up. But I'm thinking, odds are I'm either going to push these guys back or destroy them. I don't know what's going to happen with the artillery. Probably push back at least. So I'm not sure I really need the artillery over here. I think I'm going to need them more over there. But I'm going to have to move them up. Move 1 and fire. And then it's 3, 2, and then down 1 for the hill. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's move them up in support. Okay. Can I zoom in? Since all the action's over here, it would be too much. Try and get in. That's a little better. Alright, let's leave it at that. Okay. So, you know what, let's deal with this artillery first. So when you move, it's 3, 2, and then down 1 for the hill, so you only got 1 dice. 1 hit. Good job. Okay. And then we're going to start over here. That's French infantry. They immediately 1 per stand plus 1. No reduction for the hill because they're on the same level, because that would basically be like 1 big hill or a ridge. So, and we got 2 infantry symbols, which is what we needed. Got rid of those pesky rifles. Okay. And we will advance here. Okay. So now, these guys have no, never mind, backup plan for there. So let's use the line infantry first because they have a better shot. So it's 4, 5, and then back down to 4 because of the hill. And you got 1 hit. Let's do this there. And then a retreat. And I'll retreat back to here. Okay. And I will also advance here. Okay. And then of course these guys have nobody to go hand to hand with, so they're stuck there. Okay, so that was did I you know, I never moved a second one. I moved him as my 1. That was my 4. So I actually have another move. So I think I'm going to, let's see this. There's a, yeah, there's some, where are these dragoons? Yeah. I'm going to move these guys. Okay. Now I can't remember. Okay, we are... had the camera cut out on me. I didn't know it had a 30-minute limit. So I don't know exactly... moving these hussars or the dragoons is the last thing that was... I remember. I don't think anything else happened. I hopefully have also gotten rid of the annoying whine on the microphone. I switched mics, so hopefully that's taking care of that. So, enough said, let's get back to it. It is the British turn. So, get that out of the way. The concern for the British is I got to keep the French out of the town. There's just too many points involved there. I really need to start maybe bringing some of those troops on the far side of the stream over to this side. What's in the... two in the center would work well. Fire and hold would work well. Okay, 3 in the center. Okay, I think we're going to go 3 in the center and fire and hold. So 1. Okay. So 3 in the center I'm mainly going to use for movement. I'm going to just a little bit. Okay, so let's move these infantry up this line. That is horse artillery. 2. I'm thinking about moving that horse artillery. Go splashing through the screen. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, the stream bank. I'm also going to move this heavy cavalry up here so they're... let me get out of the way for a minute. So that they are within striking distance of these French troops. And also that bridge is worth a point to the French, so I need to make sure I keep them off of that. Now for the fire and hold, in order to 4 or fewer infantry and or artillery range combat with 1 additional dice. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately I can't use the artillery because they're not ranged. And I'm looking at the British left just to make sure. I don't know if I have a 4th one that could shoot. I don't think I do. I was thinking it would be that one, but can't. Right? Yeah, it cannot be adjacent. Okay, so less. Okay, infantry out of a village. Now they are British. So that's going to be 5 dice as a base. What is the... town out of no penalty for that. So they have 5 dice as a base plus 1 for the card, so they're rolling 6 dice. And I'm going to fire at these light infantry. 3 hits, that's enough to eliminate them. That gives the British another point. It is now 4-1. These up. Okay. These are regular infantry, line infantry. So they did not move, so that's 1 per stand, plus 1 to British, plus 1 for the card. They are firing at this horse artillery. And they got nothing. Okay. So these are light infantry. Oh wait, they don't. They're out of range. You know, I mean, that wasn't the best card to use, but they got the job done over here. So, okay, let's get rid of that. Throw their card back to the French. Let's see what they have. Force march, 2 hexes in battle. That might be useful over here if I want to try and take that ridge. Fire and hold. Assault left, so that would be 5 units on the left. That's not bad. Probe right, take command any section. 4 or fewer infantry units. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do probe right and bayonet charge. Okay? Let me see and review what I have here. I have infantry forward, cavalry forward, artillery canister. That could be handy if they attack that one. Oh, I guess that's his. Never mind. Okay. Bayonet charge. 4 or fewer infantry units may move 2 hexes and still battle. Okay. So 1, 2. Taking the leader with them. And 1, 2. French advantage is in melee, so let's try and use that. We'll use the first. We got one more. Now I could take the bridge for a point, and could attack the artillery. I don't really want to go point blank with them. I could try and attack the town. I think I'm going to use it to activate these guys. So I've got these 3, there's my 4th. And then I have 2 units that I can move on the right. So let me pan this over a little bit. And let's... These guys light infantry, they are. So I'm going to move 2 hexes. That's 1. And move that artillery up. That's 2. Because I would like to get that village over there because that's worth a point. So let's pan this back for the action because there's not going to be any firing over there. So, okay. That's nothing. I think I want to go, yeah, let's go here first. So that's going to be 4 dice, 5 dice because they're French, but then -1 because they're attacking uphill, I believe. Yes, so back down to 4. We'll use some flags, maybe? Or some infantry symbols. Okay. Got 2 hits and a flag now. Because they've got support, they can ignore the flag. So that is 2 hits. And that's a big unit. It's got 5 stands to start. Now they get the battle back. So they have light infantry, 1 for block, 3. Flag and an infantry, so they took 1 hit. They are supported, so they can ignore the flag, and they will. These guys, same thing, should be 5 dice, down 1 for the village, 4. Only 1 infantry symbols. Same thing, 2 hits. They're supported, ignore the flag. But did whittle them down to just 1 stand. Okay. And need to draw the card. British turn. British will I'd like to do attack right. I'd really like to get these other 2 units from across the stream over on this side before the French overwhelm. What's left here? I got probe center. That would be somewhat useful. Take command left. Too many problems over here to deal with that currently. Counterattack. So I can either do my own bayonet charge or probe left. Alright, I think I'm going to do attack right. So 3 units and 2 in the center. Okay, let's go to the card before I forget. Also, let's put these. So once it gets down to 2, you fill back up to 5. Okay, so 3 on the British right. It's 1. And then these guys are going to go into the forward. That's 2. These guys are going to come on across. That's 3. And then in the center, is there a penalty for battling out of a portable stream? Yes, it's -1. Not ideal. Where's the center line? The line is here. You look at horse artillery is 3-2. Would be they can't even fire because of the hill and the doesn't help. I could charge the cavalry, but I don't like charging at a full strength French unit on a hill. You know what? Let's move up some infantry. That's one. These guys are gonna move over here. So that's two. Maybe we get around the French flank a little bit. So the only firing, or well, melee we have going on is here. I'll go after the wounded guys. That's 3 dice. French. No. Okay. Ooh, 2 hits. And then battle back's only going to be 1 dice. This is where I get a little confused. Does the battle back take into account the terrain? Because they're coming down off a hill. Where is... Okay. During battle back, the unit calculates its strength, any trained battle dice reduction. Okay. Alright, so it would only be 1 die, but because of the hill, they don't get anything. So, okay, so then that's it. I think I'll redo the card. Did. Okay, French turn. I feel like the British are in pretty good shape. Over here, they kind of got a line along, they got some strength up around the village. The British or the French units are starting to get a little beat up. Okay, so the French, rally would be handy. Let's get rid of these. Force march, fire and hold. So left, take command any section. And on the right. You know what, I have to take this rally card to try and save that. And then let's do, and we'll do approach center. Okay, so the rally, you roll dice equal to the command cards, which are 5, and any symbol rolled. You really want infantry symbols. Okay, that's 2. So let's rally back 2 of those. I also had a cavalry and artillery, but I don't think I have any. No. Okay. And then 2 in the center. So I'm going to go 1. And then firing off a hill into town. That would be 4 dice. What's the village? -2. Yeah, let's try and weaken that. So attacking there, 5 dice. You need sabers or the red cannon symbol. Ooh, got one. Okay. That removes them. That's another point for the French. We now have 2. It's now 4-2 British. And I can advance, but I really don't want to advance right into the heart of the British line there. So we'll stay there. These guys, it would be 4 dice, -2 for the town, 1 hit. Okay, weaken them up a little bit. And French also get to draw a tactician card. They get order a leader or unit with an attached leader. So it's basically a bonus move, bonus activation. Alright, British. This leadership card. Unfortunately, I only have the group left, counterattack. Alright, I'm going to play the counterattack, but it's going to be the rally card. And then Assault Center, Bombard. Let's just do Recon and Force. So the rally, they have like 6 cards. Yes. So I'd like to rally that. These guys. Oh, look at that. 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So British morale. Rally back, boys. Okay. And then the Recon and Force. 1. Oh wait, the rally. Oh, rally. Okay, wait a minute here. And the rally, they're ordered. So we're going to go back in time and do a quick 2. So they had 3 dice. 1 for French, 1 for the hill, so it'll be 3 dice. 2 hits. And the flag they can ignore. So then 3 and 4, they rallied 1 of those right back. Okay, I think we're set. I may be off a little bit, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So so Recon and Force. So anyway, these guys will be activated. So then I can do 1 in each section. We'll activate them. Them. Oh, no, that doesn't work. I need 1 in the center. Oh, shoot. And need 1 to the right. Come over here for just a second. Let's move these guys up toward the town. It's hard I'm reaching across the camera as well as the battlefield. Okay, let's come back over here. We're going to go 3 dice plus 1 because they're British. That's 4, down to 1 for the hill, so 3 dice at these guys. 1 hit. Okay. These guys on the hill are just 4 dice straight up. 2 hits and a flag, which they... I think the leader eliminates 1. And then... double check that quick. Does the leader eliminate 1 flag? I believe so. Treats. See, retreats rule section. Okay. Oh, here we go. Bolster morale. And they disregard 1 flag when a leader's attached. Okay, that's what I thought. So sorry for the delay. And okay, so we got the 2 hits. They ignore the retreat. We're done there. And then over here we have 3 dice. 1 for the British. Oh no! They're shooting or melee. Same unit. 2 hits. Okay, that's going to eliminate them. And then we have to roll for the leader survival. I believe it's 1. He's fine. Falls back to the cannon. And then that's it. Okay. So let me pause here for a minute. Okay, I had to swap out the battery in the camera. And okay, it is the French turn. Probe left, take command left. Really starting to fizzle out over here. That rally card really hurt the French. Sir, do they have a fire and hold? It might be. This is horse artillery. You can tell I use bronze colored guns for horse artillery. It's easier to spot. So it would be 3-2, down 1 for the hill, 1, you have to be 2 dice, and then 4-3-2, same thing. So actually that's a pretty good fire both artillery, fire that infantry, and that, yeah, that's a good one. So we'll do fire and hold, and then and we'll do probe left. It's going to be a lot of units on the left, but okay, so fire and hold. I'm going to use the sabers to mark them. So it's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and and 4, and then 2 regular units. 1 and okay, 2. All right. So just regular movement. I'm gonna move these guys up. I don't think I can. They move. It's half rounded down because of the village now. Okay, so you can't do anything over here. See that? Just a little. Over here, I can't fire here. Maybe I can. I can't remember. It's been too long since I played. I know if they were shooting, they have to shoot here, but I think, because this blocks half, but not this. I think they can shoot there. I'm not even going to look it up. So, that's going to be 4, so it'll be 3 dice, because you're going up the hill. 2 hits and a flag. So 1, 2, and they can ignore the flag. However, to avoid being melee by these guys and probably eliminated, I'm going to take the flag and fall back to this leader. Okay. So this was a regular. Well, they can shoot twice. Wait, fire and hold. Wait. 1 additional dice, which I forgot. So I'm going to roll the additional dice now. Okay, good. It was a mess. Otherwise, it complicated things. Okay. So, however, so he can't do anything now. Let's go ahead and use, that would be 4 dice. In the town, I think, say -2? Yes. So that would only be 2 dice, but I'm trying to weaken that unit. So these guys firing there, they get a retreat. So it's going to drive them out of the village. Okay. Again. Now for the artillery. Guess it doesn't matter, because you always want to look at, okay, if I hit with this one and they retreat, does that leave him with no target? You know, sometimes it's better to shoot one first than the other, but in this case it doesn't matter. So we'll do the foot artillery over here. 4, 3, 2. It's down 1 for the hill, which will be 1, but back up 1 for the card. 1 hit. And a flag, which they have to take, so they have been pushed back off the ridge. Back to here. And these guys can still shoot at them. That is, what are they, 3, 2, 1, 1? Yeah, so 3, 2, 1, and then 1 for the card. Nothing. Okay. That's it for the French turn. Replenish. The deck. Alright, the British. Scout center, scout left. Bayonet charge. Assault center, bombard. Tempted to charge the cavalry, but because I could come over there and hit that weakened French unit, and then possibly hit that other unit on a breakthrough. I don't think I'm really ready to risk that yet, so really would like to move a lot in the center. Here's an assault center, so that would be 6 units in the center, and then let's do the recon and force. Okay, so the center, I can move 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to get these guys back into the village, because I don't want to give it up without a fight. So there's 1, and they can't battle. This light cavalry, 1, 2, into the stream. Them somewhere where they can be within striking distance. So that is 2. Let's move this infantry in. It's 3. Move this infantry in. That's 4. Let's move this leader up. That's 5. He's going to join them. And that light infantry, I think, moves 2. I'd like to get them. Yes. And 1, 2. Okay. I'd like to get these British to sweep around here. Okay, so the question is, oh, okay, that's no. Alright, never mind. They can fire. These guys moved. So they would be 2 dice, because it's half, because they move rounded up, so it'd be 2. 1 because the British get a bonus die, but down 1 for the hill. So we'll fire here first. That is nothing. And then same thing here. 1 hit. Okay. Now, I think the French are really going to have to do something aggressive here because they're spread out and the British are in mass and coming, and they're going to push them completely off here, and they already have I feel like a numerical advantage over there on the British left. So, less. What are we going to do though? Let's march, take command any section. Alright, we have to assault this town. So we'll use that to get that done. And then none of these are particularly helpful. I'm going to play, well, take command left. You know what, I'm going to use this just to basically get the cavalry up and also deprive the British from using it. So, we'll take command, 1 leader and then up to 3, so all 3 of these are going to be activated. So what we're going to do is move him up for the assault, move him up for the assault. I'm going to stay put and just fire, I think. So these 3 are all activated. And then cavalry charge, 4 or fewer cavalry or horse artillery units, ordered cavalry units battle with 1 additional dice. So, okay, well that's cool because this is horse artillery. And they can move. Just move up. I don't think I want to be in musket range, though. 3, 2, 1. You know what? I said we need to be aggressive. Let's be aggressive. So they're activated, but they moved. So that's 1. These heavies will move up. That's 2. And these light cavalry, I think they move 3. Right. Yes. Let's keep them just out of range. Okay. And then I've also got over here these heavy cavalry. Let's move them up too. Okay. So back over here. Cavalry, there's no melee, so that's done. All we have, okay, we got the assault. Okay. So, we have the French see if I wanted to No. Okay. So that is 4 dice plus 1 for the French on the assault, minus 2 for the protection of the town. So we have 3 dice. That's 2 hits. Okay. Now, they get the battle back, but they only have 1 dice. Okay, miss. Good. Okay. Second assault. 2 dice plus 1. Hope I'm doing that right. Yes, as long as it's against infantry. So 2 plus 1 for the French, but down 2. I need one stinking hit, and I got it. Okay. So they are eliminated. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to advance into the town. Now, this changes a lot of scoring here. Oops, out of the way. Okay. First we get 1 point for eliminating the unit. So that takes it to 3. And then the scenario specific rules. They get 2 for each town hex they occupy. And the British get 2 as long as there's no French in there. So that's the French are going to go up 2. That's going to put them at 5. And the British are going to go down 2. That's going to put them back down to 2. So now suddenly it's 5-2 French. Yeah, actually I'm looking at the... We must have 3, because there's 3 eliminated French. I think I forgot to give them a point. Just looking at the table over there. So it's 5-3 French. So now we have these guys shooting. I think that's just going to be 2 dice. Double check that. Line infantry. Yep, 2 dice, and then I think off the hill is nothing. Correct. So 2 dice at those guys. Well, or do I go these guys? They don't have the leader. It doesn't matter. Go there. Ooh, 2 hits. Okay, so they come marching up out of the stream and got pelted with musket balls. Okay. So, and then I still have this artillery, this horse artillery, but it moved. So that's just, so it's still 2 dice. These guys, nothing. Okay. So, alright, make sure I read the card. I did. British turn. They really need to get that village back and throw the French out of there before that other unit gets there. So One, 2, Okay, this could be devastating. Bayonet charge. And scout right. I mean, if you've noticed, the entire battle has been on this flank. There's a whole lot of nothing going on that other flank. So, I guess the center and British right. So, okay. So 4 or fewer infantry units may move 2 hexes in battle in melee. So we're going to go do this. 1. 2. 3. I need to move 2. 4. And then scout right, 1 other unit. I don't want to do that because I move him there, they have no place to retreat. So everybody else. You know what? I'm gonna move him over. Move him over here. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. We'll work from left to right. So we have 4. No terrain. So straight up. 1 hit, 2 hits, and a retreat. So 1, 2, and they have to take the retreat. They will retreat up on the hill. And you know what? I think I'm going to advance. Let's keep the pressure up. Okay. Here, same thing. It's going to be 4 dice, no terrain. 1 hit, 2 hits, and a retreat. 1 hit, 2 hit, and a retreat. They also will follow up. Take ground. Here, I'm going to go, okay, that was going to be 3 dice, I think. Okay, I play that's a French card, so they get to attack first. So it's going to be 3 dice. So they fire canister at those guys. See that? And they got 3 hits. So the canister completely wipes out that unit. So it's going to be another French point. I knew that was a risky move, but the leader, he's fine. So fall back to there. Well, forget how that works. I think it's only, I think I screwed up the French and moved him back, but again, because I think you only automatically move if you're being attacked and would have to move. Okay, so over here, quickly, 4 dice, no terrain, straight up. 1 hit, 1 retreat, and they have to take the retreat. And we'll retreat back to here. Now I think, now this is an odd situation because they were attacked from the side. I don't think they can battle back because they had to retreat. If one or more of the defending units block survived the melee and the defending did not retreat, yeah, that's what I thought. So they did retreat, so they're ineligible. Okay. And that's it for those. And they draw a tactician card and get battle back bonus. Very nice. And I think that is good for now. When I return, it will be the French turn. And we'll continue in the next segment. French turn. Really not liking what's happening over here, but Force March has potential with us. Well, it's a lot of leadership, but center. No, I'm going to play Forced March and skill action going on the right there. In Forced March, all infantry units in one section two hexes in battle. Alright, so I'm going to go center section. That. So I'm going to go 1, 2 into the town. That is another 2 points for the French. It is 7-3. And you know what, I'm going to shoot, knock one of the figures off. Move on to the bridge. That's another point. It's 8-3. And over, move the camera a little bit so you can see. There is an infantry here on the baseline. I'm going to go 1, 2 to move up. Let's go back over here. Zoom in a little bit on the action. So, okay. So we're going to go there. So that is going to be 3 plus 1 for the French, because they're French. I don't think battling out of a town has any impact. Let me look at the sheet. Out of, no. Okay, so that's going to be 4 dice. Ooh, 3 flags, yikes. But no hits. So they'll go back 1, 2, 3, and this is the baseline, so they can't go back any further. But they took no casualties. They fell back in good order. Let's do that stiff upper lip for the British. I'm going to attack the cavalry. They do have the option to retire and reform. Actually, I think you have to go back 2 hexes and they would be, I don't think they have enough room. And they're full strength anyway. So it's 2, 1 for each stand, plus 1 because they're French. And I don't think Affordable Stream has any. Yeah, it does have -1. So that would be back down to 2 dice. And how many do they battle back with? I don't know if I want to take this chance. That is British light cavalry. Yeah, even though there's 4 stands, they technically, oh no, yeah, they only have 3. The 4th is just for looks. So they would be battling back with 3 put into a town, which is -3. Okay, you know what, I'm kind of protected by the town, so I'm going to do it. So it's 2 dice, up 1 for French, down 1 for the stream. And you know what, since they can't battle back, I need to look up quickly the retire and reform. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, cavalry unit choose to retire. Cavalry unit may not retire and reform, cannot retire 2 hexes towards its side. It cannot. Okay, so back to the original plan. 2 dice at the cavalry. And nothing. And they can't battle back because by the time you take down all the deductions, nothing. Okay. Guys on the bridge. Bridges, okay. Doesn't really do anything for you offensively or defensively. I don't really want to attack it. Cannon. You know what, I'm going after the heavy cavalry right in front of me. So it's going to be 2 dice up 1 for the French bonus. You got 1 hit and a retreat. So the cavalry were surprised by the infantry coming up over the bridge. Took some casualties and fell back to reform. And I completely forgot to move the 2. I gotta pick 2 units on the right over here. Let's go. Remove the lights into the village. So that's 1 unit, and then, you know what, I'm going to move this artillery up. They move so they can't fire. They moved into a village so they can't fire. Okay. So that concludes turn. Okay, British. Oh, they took that village over there. That's 2 more points. French are up to 10. British are going to have to probably do some counterattacking to either get the village back or something. Let's see what they've got. Bombard. Not particularly useful. Cold Steel. Order all units adjacent to the enemy. Battle with 1 additional die. Well, we got 2 over here. Okay, I don't want to charge the cavalry in the town. That's suicide. Getting the bonus die there would be good. Scout center. Scout left. And attack right. Speed up as these French units are. I'm not sure I really need to use that thing. So that would be 3. Take command left. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Take command left flank and attack right. So, for the 3 on the right, we're going to go 1, 2, and send in the light cavalry to try and take the bridge back. That's going to be 3. And then for the take command left, in order to 1 leader on the left flank, leader and units in up to 3 adjacent contiguous hexes are ordered. Okay. So we're going to start trying to get this village back. Sorry about that. Because here's my leader, 1, 2, 3. Let's these are light infantry. We can move 2. Why does this risky? Because I move there, then I'm. I think I'm just going to keep them in line here. And later move there. Okay, so we'll start on that side. So we have, those are regulars, British, line infantry, 1 per block, so they've got 4. Attacking into a village is -2, so that's 2. You know what, I'm going to play the sapper card, which eliminates the village bonus, so that's going to be back to 4 dice. Got 3 hits. However, get these marked. Three hits. The French get 1 dice. Battle back. Retreat. And they actually have to take it because they're isolated in the wing. So we're going to move them back to here. So that's okay. Now we have 4 dice going in. They don't get the sapper card, so it's only 2 dice, but they only need 1 more hit, and they got it. Take these right back off. So this unit's eliminated for a point. They will move into the village. And that's going to be a 4-point swing for the village alone. So, +1 for the eliminated unit. Now I still have that light infantry. They moved. That's half rounded up +1. So it would be 2.5, so 3. So it's still going to be 4 dice at the French artillery. So here to here. A flag. I'm going to have to take that. So it will fall back to this hill. Okay. So I'm going to zoom back out here. Oops. Come back over here. So let me mark that. So that was French -2, British +2 for the village, and the British +1 for the unit eliminated. So the British go from 3, 4, and then 2 more for the village is 6. And the French drop from 10 to 8. So it's 8 to 6 French right now. And we still need to deal with these battles over here. So we'll deal with these first. We have 4 dice going uphill, so 3 dice right here. Oh, 3 flags, yikes. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I can't remember if they retreat to a leader if the leader stops. I'll look that up in a minute, but they took no casualties. I don't think I want to take ground because I don't really care about these guys necessarily. Well, yeah, you know what? I think I will. Because I may try and get some points by eliminating these battered units. Okay, 4 dice for them. Multiple hits. They only had 1 left. So that unit is eliminated. And so that's another point for the British. And I don't think I want to be in front of the artillery. So that British are up to 7. Using a 20-sided dice to keep score. Sometimes it's hard to find the number. There it is. Yeah, of course, I promptly drop it and lost it again. Okay. Okay. And then we have the battle for the bridge. This is British light cavalry, which is 1 dice per block. I mean, remember, there's technically only 3 there, even though there's 4. The bridge has no effect on anything other than it cancels that river. And they got 2 hits. And that eliminates that unit as well. So the French gains were short-lived. I think I will take the bridge and get out of the... These guys are probably going to face plant off of here, but that's okay. And I have to roll to see what happens to that general. He's fine. And he will actually fall back into the village. Well, I think you have to fall back toward your baseline, so. Okay, so that's another swing. +1 for the British for taking the bridge. 8. -1 to the French for losing the bridge. So, just like that, it's 8-7 British. And remember, 13 is the magic number to win. Okay. Now for the French turn. At this point, I'm not sure. I need 5 points. Not really sure where the points are going to come from. Well, assault left, leadership, coordinated advance. Kind of like that one. A scout or an assault right. Try and take that village back. So I could do 5 units. 2, 3. Not a whole lot left, because there's only 3 cards left in the rack here. But 2 of them are leadership, 1 is scout left. I'm gonna move him with the, if I play the coordinated advance. Just trying to see who I have leaders attached to. Nobody particularly useful. Okay, well, let's do this. Scout left and coordinated advance. At least I get a tactician card that may or may not be useful. And I'm going to play this leader card to activate him and just move him into the village. Okay, so coordinated advance. 1 on the left, 2 in the middle, and 1 on the right, which I will swing over here and play that artillery. And for the scout left, I'm going to move the battered French back up with the leader behind the artillery. They're not going to do any shooting or anything. So, okay. So we have, I believe it's 4-3. Double check that. And this will be, I think, down 2 for the village. Foot artillery, full strength, yes. 3 dice. Oh, only down 1. Oh, wait, yeah. Okay. So, normally it would be 3 dice. It's going to be 2. Shooting at the village. And we got nothing. Okay. Let's come over here. Make sure. Shoot, 4, 3 dice. 1 hit. Nothing else. And then this is horse artillery. I think that's 3, 2. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Retreat. So they have to fall back to the hill. And that is it for the French. You get to draw a tactician card, and they get break the square. Okay. And oh wait, I have one more. That the infantry in the village attacking. It's going to be 3 dice against the light cavalry. Do they want to retire? They won't be able to attack back into the village. I'm going to take my chances and hold the bridge. And they got a retreat. That was it. So they'll fall back to here. Take the bridge with them, apparently. So, no big deal there. And now, it is the British turn. British turn. What? Person's going to eat. And you know what? I gave the British 1 point too many because I gave them a point for taking the bridge, and only the French get that point. So I need to adjust their score. It's actually 7-7. I need to deal some cards over here. Assault right, force march, take command right flank. Could use the force march to move up basically the entire Portuguese contingent, but they're a long way from anybody. I almost think bringing the rest of these British in and trying to mop up the French, get a bunch of points, and then worry about the other flank is a better way to go. Okay, so with that in mind, here these are eliminated. Get some dead French off the table. Okay, so I played take command right flank from the rack. Yeah. Recon and force, just because I didn't really have a better option. What do they have? Opponents. Okay. That was the timer letting me know that the previous segment was out of time, but I restarted the camera, so we should be good. Alright, take command right flank, order 1 leader, up to 3 adjacent, so... Oh, shoot. Wait, I don't want to... That's not the right flank, that's the center. So... So we'll play the forced march instead. So, okay. All infantry in one section. I think that's going to be the left, the British left. So let's deal with the recon force first. Sure, let's see what's going on over here. So on the very edge of the board. I'm going to move them up. That's one. For the center, I'm going to move them in, and they can't shoot anybody. And then for the right, I need to move figure out what I'm doing over here. That's horse artillery. So I'm going to move them to, so they won't be able to shoot. Now, force march, I can move infantry one section. I got a lot of infantry in this section. They can move two and still battle. So, sorry, I'm trying to make sure this is all on camera. Less. Okay. I'm going to try and get some points here. Remove them. It's just a reminder it's worth points. Move them there. Move the light infantry up as well. Here, you know what? I'm going to move them here. Yeah. I'm going to move them up to occupy the village. Just so there's no cheap points there. 1, 2. Move them up. Now, basically everybody else is just Portuguese lights. And Portuguese trying to get in on the action. Get your money's worth on a forced march card when you have this much infantry in one section. Okay. So now for combat, get some dice. We have these regulars. So it's going to be 4 dice up the hill -1. Make sure the fronts are anything. No. And they got nothing. Row. Now the French artillery, battling back. Going to be 4 dice. And we got some serious grape shot. Our canister. 2 hits. Okay. The light infantry. Double check there. 1 per block. Where are they going? Yeah, they'll go there. So that's 5 dice. Oops. 3 hits and a retreat. They can ignore the retreat because they're supported on 2 sides. However, they do get mauled pretty bad. They battle back with only two dice. And a retreat. So they'll fall back. And they'll fall back to here, I guess. Okay, fairly successful. And that was all of... Oh wait, we got... Come over here to the other flank. Hopefully I'm not making you seasick, moving the camera back and forth. Okay. That's going to be 4 dice at the battered French infantry. 3 hits, that's the end of them. So that's another point. Let's roll 1 dice, see what happens to the leader. It's fine. Them, I'm not going to take ground, I'm going to stay on the hill. Give the British their point before I forget. That is 8 to 7. And that is it for the British. The French have to figure out a way to get some. They need 6 points. That artillery is point blank with that infantry. If I can do something on the right. Okay. So we'll play assault right out of my hand. And then... These cards aren't particularly helpful. Alright, we'll take that. Not a whole lot. Okay. So all leaders, so if there's attached to a unit, they're ordered. Okay, this leader's gonna move up to here. Shelter with the artillery. We will... That's horse artillery. No, I'll shoot at that leader. And... Okay, these guys, it's light cavalry. 1, 2, 3. These guys are ordered. So they have a leader. Over here. This infantry has a leader, so they're ordered. And that's the only other one. Okay, and then we have assault right, and I have five cards. I want to double check. Make sure they're only supposed to have 5. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so they can activate 5, so we'll go 1. So 1 for the artillery, 2 for them. guys in. 3. Four. And move these guys up, even though it kind of cuts off the retreat. We can't battle, so we don't need to worry about that. Alright. So, I'm going to do... I could do combined arms there. However, it might be overkill. Let me see my... It's French heavy cavalry. 1 dice per block plus 1. And they are a 4 block, so that would be 5 dice. Kind of getting greedy here. This guy's getting fighting. I don't need to worry about them. My dilemma is, do I want to make sure I obliterate that unit, or take my chances, hope the cavalry wipes out, and then that will open up the shooting lane to hopefully damage them. Oh, you know what? I can always use this 1 dice infantry. Alright, so cavalry on their own. Take some of those dice here. So, yeah, 5 dice. Now they can form square, which they will. But I'm going to play break the square. So 2 hits. That's all they needed. Okay. So far so good. That eliminates them. It's a point for the French. And then these guys. Shoot, let's do the artillery. So it's 4, 3, and then down 1 for the village. Nothing anyway. These guys are going to be... They did not move. So 1 per block. So they get 1 dice at the British lights. Nothing. Then I also have the French lights. They get 2 dice. 2 hits. That's good. Okay, so not too bad. Okay, now let's come back over here. And we have the action in the town. So these guys are shooting. I'm going to shoot at the heavy cavalry. So that's 2 dice, I believe. Of course, I have my sheet all the way over here. That is line infantry. Yes, 1 per block. And they got a retreat, which is a hit because they are against the baseline of the battlefield. So they only have 1 hit left. And then this artillery, I don't remember the rule for targeting a lone leader, so I need to look that up. If it's allowed. One hex may not be targeted in ranged combat. Okay. Okay, so I can't. It's gonna shoot there. Well, I can attack him immediately though, right? So yeah, it's just like he's. So I roll 4 dice, I guess. I got nothing. Unbelievable. Okay, so that ends the French turn. British turn. Assault right. Scout left, scout center, bombard, give them cold steel. Attack left. Okay. 3 on the left. And assault on the right. So we have 6 cards for the right. So we'll go 1. 2, and we moved this leader over. That's 3. Activate the artillery is 4. And the British into this village section. 5. And loophole buildings. In order to infantry unit the turn moves into a building, they still combat. So I'm going to use that. So that is 6 on that side. And I got 3 on the left, the British left. Come over here. And fire the light infantry 1. Shoot out of the village 2. And I'm going to move this horse artillery up. 3, and you can still shoot, it's just a lower. Okay, let's do the artillery first. It was horse artillery. They move, so it's 3, 2, so now we get 2 dice shooting at that. 2 hits. The remnant of that. Hit. It's gone. So that is a point. And I did not give the French their point, I don't think. So far each side need to add a point to the score. Then we have the lights. Light infantry is 1 per block plus 1, so that's still 4 dice. Steal that at the French lights, and they got nothing. Unbelievable. Okay, and then out of the village, French line, or I'm sorry, British line. That's going to be 5 dice at the heavy cavalry. I'm going to have to roll another one. I don't have another one handy. So we got 1 hit, and then the 5th dice, 2 hits. Okay. That was good. So you got 1 there, 1 there. full-strength heavy cavalry unit is not to be trifled with, especially French. And now let's go back to the other side and see what happens over here. We have 4 at the French artillery, and we got 2 retreats. They can ignore 1. Question is, do I want to? Yeah, I think I will. Okay. And they will, you know what? I'm going to take ground. It's risky, but these guys are going to fire. They are flying infantry. They moved. So it's 2 dice. No, that 1 hit. Okay. That is foot artillery. 4, 3, 2 dice. Oh, another hit. Let's just drop the effectiveness of that battery. And then last we have the unit in the village. It would normally be 4 dice, but the village subtracts 2, I think. Yes. So it's going to be 2 dice. We'll retreat. That is almost a better result. Forces them out of the village. I will take ground. And okay. So that is everybody. So I need 1 point for the French. Takes them to 8. And then I need 1 point for the eliminated unit, and then -2 for the French. +6, and then +1. Alright, so it is 9 to 6 British. Get this dope back out. And okay. So between this segment and the last one, I did a recount of the destroyed units and objectives, and it is actually the British 11, the French 7. So British 11, French 7. The British are only 2 points away from winning the scenario. It is the French turn. They need points, and they need them in a hurry. Just gonna have to start really being aggressive to try and take down some of these battered British, maybe over here. Definitely going to do, I think, the assault on the left and try and take out some of these British units that are weakened a little bit. The only thing on the right flank, let me pan that way. There's that one British unit by the village it's taken 2 losses. They still have 3 stands though, because that's a bigger light infantry unit. What can I get? I get that light to. This is a leader. No. I'm trying to decide. You know what? Well, that would be 2. Okay, so come back over here. Flank attack, 2 and 2. Assault left flank. So okay. So assault left. That's 5 units. Plus I have 2 more. This will be way more units I actually have. So I'm basically going to activate 3. You know what? I'm gonna have to be aggressive here. Oh wait, that's the center, so I can't do that. So I got 1, 2, 3 there, and then the flank attacks would be 2 on the right, and I am. Basement's a little cramped, it's hard to get through sometimes, so I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to activate 4, 3, that'd be 2. You know what, I can do a combined arms, because I could do there, and I will move him, and Where's my... Not sure about line of sight there. So the middle of this X, the middle of that one. It's not cut through that hill, so I think I'm okay there. Okay. Alright, so in combined arms, I'm going the artillery and the infantry there. You combine your attacks. So that is French light infantry, which I think is 1 dice per unit in melee. That's correct. So that's 4 dice. The artillery would be 4, 3, 2 dice. So I need 1 more dice. There we go. Okay. Oh, that went re-roll. 3 retreats. Okay. Question is, I believe those count. So I got 2 hits, which is great, except I really needed 3. And they'll have to take the flags, so they're going to go 1. Well, actually, they're going to run into their own units, so they can't. There's no place for them to go. 1, 2, and then so that any flag that you can't resolve is a hit. So that ends up being the end of that light infantry. So we'll point to the French if I can remember to give it to them this time. Okay. And I'm not going to take ground. That would put me right next to that artillery. So let's come over here. And okay, this guy was activated as well. I just had to steal his dice. So alright, so let's do this one first. Oh wait, if I'm shooting now, okay, here, I'm gonna move. Nobody else is going to move. Okay. So then that's 3 dice there. 1 hit. That's all they needed. Okay, so that's another unit eliminated. Okay. Then we have this artillery down here. That's going to be 4 dice, but hold on. Oh, it's just a battle back bonus. Okay. So, it's 4 dice at them. 2 hits and a flag. So 1, 2. And you know what, I'm going to take the flag because I don't really want to be right on top of the artillery. Okay. That is it for the French. Let's go and see what the British can do. Oh wait, 2 points to the French. I almost forgot. That makes it 11-9. And again, it's the first one to 13. And as soon as you hit 13, the game's over. There's no... the other side does not get a turn. Okay. The British, what I want to do with them, I really want to probably finish off this artillery. Looks like a good target. Maybe this infantry. So something on the right or center. Doesn't really help me a whole lot. Bombard. 4 fewer artillery. Can you use the bombard car if they're adjacent? Can use him. Can't. There's a bridge. I don't think the bridge blocks line of sight, so they can actually shoot into the town. It's horse artillery though, so it's like 3-2 and then down 2 for the village. So that's not any good. We do have artillery. Could fire with the French lights that just went on the hill over there. Then what would I do? Take command right, leadership. 1 additional dice that battles. What else do I have? Scout center, scout left, assault right. I would activate those 3. Probe center. Leadership. Okay, I'm going to play Elon and assault right. So, Elon, roll battle dice equal to your command cards. That's 6. Look for symbols. So that's 2 infantry, 2 artillery, a cavalry, and a flag. 1 unit of your choice. Okay. Order the units battle with 1 additional die the entire turn. Okay. So I'm gonna go crazy here when I use them. I have to be careful I don't get them mixed up. Got artillery over here. Gonna activate. And cavalry. Yeah, let's bring these cavalry up. And then 1 unit of my choice. Everybody over here. Oh, I could do something with them. Okay, so, and then honestly, the assault right is pointless because I've already activated all the cards on that side. So, that'd be 2. Him there and shoot. Leave him there and shoot. He's going to shoot. He is going to move out of the city here. I want to attack them, and I can if I'm adjacent there. Attack. And then the light cavalry, I think they move 3. Yes, they move 3. So 1, 2, 3. So they're going to thunder across the bridge, and they will engage the French light cavalry. Okay. So first, we have, make sure I'm calculating this right. 1 per block, so 2. They're British, so that's +1 is 3. And then +1 for the cards, so they're rolling 4 dice. Let's steal the cavalry's dice here. And we need artillery. Oh, we got 2. So that's 1 and 2. Okay. Over here, we have shooting at that artillery. 3 dice for the box. 1 because they're British, and 1 for the card. Also looking for artillery. 1 hit, that's all that's left. This artillery is destroyed. That's 1 point to the British. And we have to see what happens. That leader, it's 2 dice. Okay, he's fine. So now we'll do this artillery. This is foot artillery, so that's 4 +1 for the card. I get 3 infantry symbols. What do the French have? No. 3 infantry symbols wins the game. 2. Well, actually, the sword's worth 2 because it's a point blank. So that is the second point. We don't need to do any more of the turn. So the final score, British 13, French 9. Pretty good battle. Obviously all the action was mostly on the left. If you take a look over here on the right, French had some forces along the back here. They did take the village briefly, but the British came up in a wave, pushed them out, and the French just never got going on that side, and the Portuguese are basically just observing the whole game. In the middle, we had these British coming up to try and threaten the French flank here on their attack on Vimiero. Didn't get heavily engaged. They did push back, I think, some of the early units. And then over here, there is a cavalry back here. 1 artillery, these are British. And the French did fight their way into the town and had, I think, 2 sections at the high point. Got kicked out. They did hold 1 there at the end. But in the end, they just took too many casualties getting up this far. And then, honestly, about half to 2/3 of the way through, it was pretty obvious the British were going to have the numbers, and the French really had to take the village and hang on to it and the bridge to get the points to stay in it. And once they got kicked out of there, that was kind of the end of that. Oh, you know what though? I do need to finish the turn, because when I moved out of there, that immediately gave the French 2 points. Or no, or subtracted 2 from the British. So I do need to finish the the turn here. That was a blunder. So, okay. These guys were activated. You can shoot here, I guess. I have the light cavalry fighting the French light cavalry. Let's see what happens. 1 per block. Any opponent melee bonus? No. Looking for cavalry. They got 1 hit for the swords. And then 2 retreats. They can ignore 1. So the French will fall back to here. Leader goes with them. And I don't think they really want to take ground and attack again. No, I'm going to stay there. So we do need to come over here then. And that is horse artillery. So that is 3-2 and down 1 for the right here to here. 3-2. Yeah, 3-2 and then down. So it's really only 1 dice. Oh no, but up 1 for the card. So 1 hit. Mark that. And that is everybody. Well, these guys can fire at this leader. So that's going to be... I think you can... I know I looked this up before. Okay, so I made a bit of a blunder there when I left the village. So that is everybody. So let me readjust that. That is back down 2 points. Right? No, wait. I did calculate that. It's the French go up 2. No, that's per section. Let me get the scenario rules again. I think it's the British are up 2 if there's nobody. You get 2 if the French do not occupy any town hexes. Well, they didn't have that 2 because the French have been there for some time. So my original calculation was right. So we just had a little skirmish at the end. So it is a 13-9. British win. And everything I said before holds up. The French just needed a little bit better luck over here. I had started to play the scenario once and I had to stop because I had a hot water tank that had to come through here, so I had to tear everything down. But in that first game, the French rapidly took this ridge line, and the British reinforcements were still trapped over here. And it really looked like, with the casualties the British took, the French were going to have the numbers to push into the village and hold off the reinforcements. But in this game, the reinforcements got over here really quick. It took them a while to get this ridge cleared, and by the time they did, they were just out of momentum and out of troops. So it was a good game. It was a fun game. It's a nice scenario, though. Again, these impassable hexes in the middle in the woods do kind of divide the battle up into really 2. You got left, center, and then right and right center, with not a whole lot of going on in between. So, I don't know, do I have, I don't know what I don't think I printed out the whole thing, but anyway, I hope you like this. I'm still learning the best way to film these, and if you have any comments on what I can do better, let me know. You know, hopefully you enjoy this. I always liked watching other people play through, so I want to give back, if you will. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.